In ancient Greece, Socrates was widely lauded for his wisdom. One day the great philosopher came upon an acquaintance who ran up to him excitedly and said, "Socrates, do you know what I just heard about one of your students?" "Wait a moment," Socrates replied. "Before you tell me, I'd like you to pass a little test. It's called the test of three." "Test of three?" "That's right," Socrates continued. "Before you talk to me about my student, let's take a moment to test what you're going to say. The first test is truth. Have you made absolutely sure that what you're about to tell me is true?" "No," the man replied. "Actually, I just heard about it." "All right," said Socrates. "So you don't really know if it's true or not. Now let's try the second test, the test of goodness. Is what you're about to tell me about my student something good?" "No, on the contrary." "So," Socrates continued, "you want to tell me something bad about him, even though you're not certain it's true?" The man shrugged, a little embarrassed. And Socrates continued, "You may still pass through, because there is a third test, the filter of usefulness. Is what you're about to tell me about my student going to be useful to me?" "No, not really." "Well," continued Socrates, if what you want to tell me is neither true nor good nor even useful, why tell it to me at all?" The man was defeated and ashamed and said no more. This is the reason Socrates was such a great philosopher and held in such high esteem. Whoever said, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me," obviously never had a Twitter account. Being careful of what we say is not just something to keep in mind when using social media. It's something we should be mindful of every time we speak. Our words can do greater harm than we think. And we've all been guilty in the past of saying things that wouldn't pass Socrates' test of three. In the letter of James, he says, "How great a forest is set ablaze by a small fire, and the tongue is a fire." We can do disproportionately more damage with a misplaced word than anything else. So before we open our mouths and cause mayhem, let's take a moment, still our minds, count to three. Lord, I ask that you inspire me always to do my best, not comparing myself with others, but only with myself. Lead me, O God, to discover and use my own talents to the full. May I live in such a way that I help others to experience success. Inspire me to be generous in praising others for the good use of their abilities, looking not so much at the degree of achievement, but at the effort that they put in. Amen.